Yesterday I had done a video on Spirograph on canvas, and I wanted to just show you a little bit of progress and something you might want to keep in mind. I decided that none of the three of them came out really the way I wanted them to come out. So what I really am showing you here, that is 3 coats of white acrylic over the design that was on there yesterday, and it barely covers. This is 3 coats of white plus 2 coats of yellow, and you can still see the blue and red design there, and I had added a purple one up here, and you can see that too, but not as apparently. And this is the one that had the black on it that didn't come out well at all. And again, at least 2 coats of white and 2 or maybe 3 of yellow. So I just wanted to make the note that really be careful the first time you do it. Now, I decided to redo them because I do want them to end up like fine art and on canvas, so that I can put them on my wall just like any of my other paintings or anything. So, and then I did go ahead and paint. I have a total of 48 here, 4x4 canvas panels, and I painted them with a yellow background. And so today what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it on video, but what I'm going to do is redo these designs, but I'm going to have to do them right over what I did in the other video. Otherwise, they're just going to keep coming through. And the reason I'm making this video is to tell you that it's amazing to me that 4 or 5 layers of acrylic paint is not covering that ink. That's 2 layers, I think I said. At least 2 layers right there. So, and I'll be using the art set. And here's another set just to mention. This is the current Super Spirograph. Look at that. Like, look at this center design here. And that you could do that on, it looks like, I don't know if this drawing is to scale, but some of those get to be about 8 or 9 inches wide. So you could do, you could buy some 12-inch by 12-inch square canvas panels and do the larger designs on a larger canvas panel. So I think I'm going to pursue this a little bit, and what I'm going to do today, like I said, is redo what I had done in the other video, and I just wanted to let you know that it's not as easy to cover the originals up as I thought. And here are 3 designs I've just done on the large canvas. And I have to say that it really helps to have a solid piece of wood under there. It makes a big difference on how it goes down. These 2 are with both Inkjoy and Bic pens. Now, I had said yesterday that the Bic pens tend to gunk up on the point. It doesn't mean they aren't good pens. The other thing that could have happened with the black yesterday, I have all different colors of Bic medium point pens because they're easy to buy at the local CVS when I go up there. And they come in all these different colors. There's no orange and there's no yellow. There is a light green that's actually right here. That is this color. So these are both Inkjoys and Bic mixed together. There is smudging on here. I had the wheel move under the ring, which is why I added the red. I covered up that mistake with the red, and there's just about 1/8 of an inch of a blue line there. I may just leave it. You know, one of the other things I'm doing is block printing. And when you make block prints, each print is going to have slight variations because of the way the ink goes on. These are technically the same thing. But look at how different that looks when you add more than one little lonely design in the center. Now this is a flare, a Papermate flare in purple. And I did that because the wood block, even when it's all the way over there, there's a slight gap between the wood holding the canvas and the block. So I figured I'd better use a flare so that I didn't need to press down very hard. Now on the flare, it smudged from the wheel. I actually was able to rub off the smudging because it's acrylic paint underneath. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm slightly off from where I had my other purple one. And so what I'm ending up with on both of those is kind of a ghost image underneath. And that doesn't bother me on this piece. So I am going to go ahead and continue adding more of these. But now you can see what I meant yesterday about what an interesting piece on the wall this would be with all different designs. And I'm going to do the same. I did do this one, and I'm not as happy with the one on the 4-inch panel. It could be the colors I used. I used red, blue, and green. But I'm going to probably consider this one of my practice ones. And I'm not sure why it's different today. Yesterday this one worked the best. And I can't figure out why. This has more paint on it. The one in the camera view now. That one I put 3 coats of white to cover the other one. So I'm not sure why that happened. Now here I'm in the corner again where there's a gap between the tea bags and the wood, and the purple and the pink both slipped. But what I'm doing, believe it or not, soapy water is taking this off, at least the flare. So if you get a mistake and you don't want to start repainting, you may be able to wash it off with soap and water. And for now, I'm going to leave it like this. So I have 5 design elements in there, and it kind of looks like they're all sashaying over to the right. Any of those at the corners were more difficult because of the gap between the wood of the frame of the canvas and the support I had underneath. Now, the ink, I think, will dry and harden a little bit. This one was like a huge mistake. It did wash off, but then once I washed it off, even when it was dry, the paint gave me a hard time with accepting the ink. And I still had the gap. So I ended up leaving it as you see it. I'm not even going to rub the black smudges off of around it. And I even ended up with like rays heading this way. I'm going to leave it. To me, it looks like a black ring you look through, and there could be all kinds of stuff through that ring. But overall, I like it. I like it now. I like it with the yellow on there instead of the plain white. It gives it a plane of existence. So it's like I'm looking out a window and these things are flying by my window. That's how I'm looking at it right now. So now I'm going to let all of them dry for a month, and then I'll spray it. And I do have the flare marker on here. I have marker on this one and on this one. So I have both ink and marker on that, and I will let it dry for a month before I spray it. If you saw the first video, you know this is the canvas that the drawing got ruined when I added the black. Now today I had a very nice orange and green drawing on there. And I didn't mention it in yesterday's video, but I have PTSD. And there are times that you have to just allow things to happen. Whether or not you have PTSD, sometimes as an artist, you just have to let things happen. I didn't like the orange, green, and gray. I have a couple of drawings that I've done using those three colors that are beautiful. But when you line them up in stripes, they're annoying. To look at that all the time was annoying. And like I said a few minutes ago, I had a very nice orange and green drawing on there, and it just wasn't right because the background is annoying. So I used red marker, blue pen. I used everything on here. And it looks like a mess, but it's like a big plum thing. What I'm going to do is let it dry for a few minutes. As you can see, I even went around the ring. I have a ring around it. I'm going to let it dry for a few minutes, and then I am again going to add the black. And even if it ends up dark and ugly and all of that, it suits the canvas. It also suits, if you do have PTSD, this is sometimes how your thinking goes. And nobody likes to talk about it, nobody likes to have it, but sometimes you end up with a striped canvas with a mess in the middle, and you have to deal with it. So from my point of view, I'm going to put the black on there, I'm going to make it a PTSD canvas, and subconsciously I'll probably notice it or look at it, and it'll be a reminder that maybe I need to change what I'm doing. So you can use it as a visual clue to your own well-being. And strictly as an artist, you know, the other option is to throw it away. Say, okay, this project just isn't working right, I'm going to toss it. And I don't want to do that because just because something isn't beautiful doesn't mean it's not valid. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, let this dry and add the black, and it'll be my PTSD painting. And the other one I might work on, the larger one, a little at a time if I decide to add anything to it. And in the meantime, I can just do small ones on canvas board. So this is has been part 2 of Spirograph on canvas. There is my PTSD painting, and I want to show you something. Sometimes you see something after you finish something and you didn't know that's what you were doing. Now, I had said this was going to be my PTSD painting. It is and it isn't. I was looking at it after I put these elements on there, and it does describe PTSD. I also started counting, and on the left I have 4 elements, then I have the big mess in the middle, and on the right I have 6 elements. And I've actually been doing something on another project that cover my own ages at age 4, 5, and 6. Now, so on the left is age 4, in the center is age 5, and on the right is age 6. And I'll tell you why. When I was 5, I was swarmed by yellow jackets. I stepped on a nest, the whole hive came out, and I had like 300 bee stings. And, but I survived. And it's always been the, oh yeah, at age 5 I was swarmed. Well, this has now come out to be, the painting's name will be 456, because at 4 I maybe thought that way, at 5 I got swarmed, and at 6, look at that, I've got more designs. Strength and survival.